Phonk is what happens when you let cars and funk, and then they pop out Smokey Nagata, worldwide criminal, who decides he should soundtrack his entire life. If you need any elaboration on what any of that means, I condensed weeks worth of research and years of lived experiences to answer this very question. Phonk, or as the French say, Phonk, means nothing in both languages because it's slang for funk. It does, however, refer to a genre of music that you might have recognized from TikToks like this and this. Now, what's funny is that what most people refer to as funk generally isn't the original genre, and is in fact an offshoot from the first iterations of funk, which I will now be calling funk prime. So I want to take some time to pay homage to the who's of funk, show you why this funk is the best, and the hows of making funk. Tell me, if drink driving is illegal, then why do you need a license to purchase alcohol? Originally hailing from Memphis, Tennessee in the 1990s, funk is characterized by Memphis rap vocals and the techniques of the southwestern DJs of the era. One DJ whose technique and style laid the foundations of what would be known as funk was called DJ Screw. These techniques and creative choices included drums, classically boom bap beeps with an emphasis on slowed down tempos, and like most hip hop of the time, heavy use of samples. So in particular, smooth soul, jazz, funk samples, and Memphis rap vocals. Or woman-fist rap vocals. And drawing from his contemporaries at the time, such as the 3-6 Mafia or 3.5 Memphis. All of this combined with Screw's hallmark technique called the chopped and screwed method, tied all these elements together into a unique aesthetic. By scratching the records, chopping the beats, and slowing them down, this technique would distort and crush the samples, creating a darker, grittier ambience and vibe. You might have noticed that what I'm describing doesn't sound like the funk you're aware of, and because of that, some people might take issue that I'm referring to Screw's work as funk at all. But I think it a little disrespectful to not even at least mention the inspirations for the genre. It should still be awarded the title of funk prime, even if it earned that title in retrospect, because this funk prime wouldn't initially gain much footing as a genre. After the 90s, these styles of beats were considered basically dead. The modernization or innovation of the genre that would propel it to almost mainstream heights didn't happen for another 20 years. With the help of some necromancers that looked at the foundations that DJ Screw and his contemporaries laid, and decided to do something with it. Shadow Wizard Money Gang, we love casting spells. Phonk, back from the bonk, rose up like stonks, and experienced a resurgence of popularity in the 2010s, with Space Ghost Perp and his 2012 debut album, Mysterious Phonk, Chronicles of Space Ghost Perp. This is actually where the genre was coined and termed as funk. The popularity of the project worked to revitalize the genre in general, with SGP going on to produce for notable artists such as Lil Uzi Vert and the ASAP Mob, whose mainstream success helped revitalize the dark and gritty aesthetics of the beats. Alongside these artists that popularized the genre, there were others that were innovating with their own interpretation of it, and finding success in doing so. Artists such as Soudiere, my personal favorite, DJ Yung Vamp, most of Purple Posse, and DJ Smokey. Gang, we love popping balloons. Wait, Smokey, that was a typo. No correlation to Smokey Nagata, worldwide criminal, just yet. You see, as this genre had finally managed to reach wider audiences, it brought more eyes on the genre, which meant more producers, and inevitably, more outside influences to the genre. This led to the creation of many subgenres of funk, including but not limited to funk, just to name a few. But one offshoot found more popularity than the rest. And if we've learned anything from my last video about lo-fi, it's that once a genre finds its visual aesthetic, the internet can spread it to a wider audience. And so we get to the part where most people become familiar with the genre, and that's with TikTok's integration of funk and its brand new aesthetic, to go along with more epic CapCut edits and car culture. Phonk rose up like stonks, and this time with cars. Phonk's resurgence on TikTok meant that funk had come back as hard as it has ever been. I've come. With beats that went more bombastic, and imagery associating it with the aesthetic of JDM and drift cars. Hence the name Drift Phonk. It's here that Smokey Nagata, worldwide criminal, still has no relevance to the story whatsoever. I just thought he's an icon of JDM cars and This clip of this sweet Japanese man and worldwide criminal just was like hilarious to me. I just wanted to spread light. In an effort to exaggerate the grittiness of the beats, the instrumentation became more electronic and synth-based. And it's also here where the cowbells became synonymous with the genre. Combined with the trap beat stylings of its predecessors, this iteration of the genre didn't really have much to do with the original, besides maintaining the Memphis rap vocals, or Memphis. And that's kind of where Phonk is at today. Kind of also want to talk about why is Phonk, or like at least why is Phonk to me, why I make it, why I like listening to it. So when I hear people talk about music, a lot of it is the ethereal. So the intentionality, the storytelling, the monetary success. Part of the discussion that gets left out sometimes is just how fun it is to make music, right? And for me, that's what drift funk is. Big bombastic beats that are as fucking cool as you can make them. You feel cool making it, you feel cool listening to it, driving to it. And if that's what drift funk is, then, you know, so be it. So that's what I'm going to teach you how to make. And this brings another part of the funk discussion that I also want to touch on, is that, you know, people get very elitist about drift funk isn't real funk. Only funk from this genre can be funk, but funk before then cannot be funk. It's just the inspiration for funk. And to me, right, if my lo-fi video was about intentionality, I just want funk to be about inclusion. It's all music, man. If it sounds good to you, just listen, just make it. Who cares? You don't really need an idiot like me to tell you what you like. I like Soudiere, you like cowbells. We are not the same, and that's okay. So, real funk, not real funk.
Noodles.
I'm just gonna have fun making something that is generally funk, that can be placed between the two. And that's really my only goal with making this, is just enjoying myself, having fun, making something that sounds cool. And if that's the mindset you want to go into making your funk with, then yeah, have some fun. Crack FL Studio, illegally pirate it, allegedly, and just get to making with me. We've been through the what, the who, the why, and let's get into the how of funk. But for me, I'm going to Mexico. Yeah, that was a fucking lie. My car hasn't moved in a year. So how to funk. I don't really remember who made this beat. I know that I made the original and then Ariel remixed it. So I'm going to cover it fast. Like car. Sample. So if you're going for a more OG funk, you can use jazz or funk, whatever. But I just went with this. Bit more of that new wave drift funk. And then I doubled it and gave it to the next person. Obviously we're going for a more trap beat style. So a big kick.
Shoot. Crap. Uh-oh. Hang on. You kids okay?
And then a clap. Nice little hi-hat pattern. And now what makes all of this funk? The vocal. So it's trap, funk, trap, funk. A couple bits and bobs that I'm 100% sure Ariel added because they're serum and I don't know sound design. So well, open hi-hats, random sound effects, put it through some mixing and mastering. Now, before the drop is tarred, subscribe and check out our music. Bye.